What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. How about them Lions beating up on them Cowboys? Don't worry about that. We're not talking about sports today. I'm just a little excited because Detroit sports teams, we got to get the Pistons on board. It's doing a phenomenal job. But outside of that, we are about to head into the studio. As usual, I always give y'all my morning vlog, so I want to give you my thoughts and get it out early so that we can get to our day, and then we can get started with the Millionaire Morning Show. What's wrong with Obama? Huh? What's wrong with Democrats? What's wrong with Kamala Harris? As if they couldn't do any worse because they are struggling. They know what the real data is saying. They're going to sell y'all on the polls and all of that stuff. But they know what's really happening in real life. And in real life, they losing bad. And it is a strong, and when I say strong, I mean huge possibility that they are going to fumble this election. Think about this for a minute. And let's just put together the chain of events before we start talking about Obama. And then potentially Michelle Obama. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow or this afternoon. Or maybe even tonight on the Q Show. So make sure y'all tune into the Q Show. Also, make sure you tap into the Patreon. We had a phenomenal live stream yesterday. Block Club, where we went over everything real estate, the fundamentals, and we're going to bring you along. And it's going to be an absolute awesome time. Similar to Stock Club, but we revising it for real estate, and we want to break down all of our investments. And I showed you my receipts. I showed you my receipts on that live stream. And so it's now available for you guys to watch again and restream. And then make sure you get your tickets to come and kick it with me in person. I will be in Atlanta on November 2nd, and I will be in Detroit on December 14th. Discount code Anton. All of that information is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But let's think about this chain of events really quickly, right? You have a Democratic Party who paraded out Biden, and they tried to sell us on the idea that Biden, the second term of Biden, even though Biden needs his blankie, a second term of Biden would be a good idea because they were caught between a rock and a hard place. The rock was the fact that Biden was old. The hard place was that it's normal for the incumbent to naturally rerun because he already has the support of his delegates. And then on top of that, the people already have been marketed to them by seeing them in the presidential office for a long time. What they didn't take into consideration is that we're not stupid, so we can see that he's old. And then on top of that, they didn't take into consideration that we're smart enough to realize that they did a bad job over the last 3.5 years. So they leveraged Biden and they put him in place. Democrats already knew he wasn't going to make it. This is just my personal opinion. So what they did was they used the debate to then get him out of office because they realized that voting down ballot, meaning that whoever the presidential candidate is, they affect everybody else down ballot in whatever states and Congress and millages and cities and whatever it is that you have going on in your city. And this is one of the reasons why I tell people it's important for you to educate yourself on everything that's going to be on that ballot. And that's why I want you guys to get ballots early and then go online early and do the same type of research that you do on your favorite rappers, the same type of research that you do on your favorite football players, sports players, the same type of research that you do when you're trying to figure out when a concert is coming to your city or when your favorite artist is coming. Put that same energy into the election. So find out what's on a ballot, do the research, understand the judges, understand whoever it is that's going to be running in your district, who's going to be representing you, and whatever it is that you do, the local election is more important than the national election. But the national election personally affects everything that happens down ballot. So when you see Nancy Pelosi and all of these other Democrats, AOC and everybody scrambling, even though they wanted to try to pretend like, oh no, we love and we support Biden, that whole Democratic National Convention was supposed to be for Biden. He flew in and flew out same day. So now when you see him supporting people like DeSantis and stuff like that, you understand why. Because he can't just say, you know what, I'm not for the establishment. I don't really care about what's going on. He has to say, no. I'm still campaigning for Kamala Harris. But we can see what's really happening because he was pushed out. Maybe without his knowledge, because when he did campaign, as hard as he was, if he'd have known he was going to get pushed out, they knew he was old. They knew what was going on. And I don't even think that he's controlling what's going on in the White House. But that's just the reality of it. So they gave us Kamala Harris, right? Chain of events. They gave us Cam Cam. Now, Cam couldn't debate her way out of a wet paper bag. Got absolutely destroyed by Tulsi Gabbard in 2019. Didn't have to win anything, but they thought that they could do the same thing that they did in 2008 and 2004 and all of these other times, and they could do to get out the vote. Put your favorite celebrity out there. Put who resonates with the people, the Ricky Smileys, the Steve Harveys, the Magic Johnsons, all of these type of people, right? And when they realized that that's not working, because the minute that she had to present herself to the general public and start doing interviews, and now they're making their rounds on podcasts, so they're picking and choosing which podcasts that they wanted to be on, like All of Smoke, Howard Stern, people that traditionally lean more blue or votes based off of identity politics. They leaned into that, but again, they underestimated the people, and that most of us, not all of us, most of us are not stupid, so we don't vote based off of identity politics. We vote based off of truth. And lo and behold, they getting their ass kicked. I'm sorry. I know some people want me to not curse, but I'm a man. That's what I do sometimes. I'm working on it. They wasn't focused on the fact that we might be a little bit smarter than they anticipated. And so now they getting their butt kicked. So what do? They paraded out the Messiah, Obama, right? And Obama managed to do the unthinkable. The one thing that they didn't think was going to be done, that's what he did. You know what he did? He scolded us like we were children, like we owe him money, like he and the mob. And then he threatened to get Michelle on us. We're going to get into that in a little bit. He threatened to get Michelle on us, and he managed to make things more divisive than ever. Instead of educating us on how she would be a better candidate through policy and how she would be any different than she was over the last 3.5 years, which she already torpedoed that because she said that she wouldn't be. And now I'm getting reports that's saying that she's trying to figure out how to distance herself from Biden. Too late. Now that we're looking into it from that lens, what Obama managed to do was be so divisive to now he has a gender war and a war amongst simps and real ones that actually identify with masculinity, which is one of the reasons why we actually identify with Trump. Not the reason why we vote for him, the reason why we identify with him, right? Because we want somebody that actually stands up for all Americans and not just black people. So now you got a war going on to where if you look on any social media platform and then you actually tie it back to Obama, what you basically see is people arguing and getting mad at the fact that we can think for ourselves, men, especially black men, we can think for ourselves, and we're not just going to go with whatever it is that you give us and say that we need to vote on the fact that, or on the idea that you're black. Because I don't even know what your gender is. I don't know what your race is. I don't know what your affiliations are. I don't even know if you believe in God. I don't know nothing about you. All I know is that y'all and your party and your legacy is tied to giving us things that we don't want, like putting men in women's bathrooms, gender affirmation, 10 walls, things in the books that we want taught within our own households, and we don't need our schools to be doing that. We want our kids in there learning science, geography, and math, not what you can change yourself into and what you want to be called and what your pronouns are. But they've managed to do the unthinkable. And I think that it's all divine. I think this is exactly what's meant to happen. I don't know, but you may feel a little bit differently. Let me know inside of the comments what your thoughts are. I love you. I appreciate you. I love Obama for doing the unthinkable. Who would have thought that Obama would be the one to absolutely put the cherry on top and sink this entire campaign? The only way they can win it is by stealing it at this point. That's it. That's the only way they can win it. Because any logical person that can think can see what the play is. I'm about to get into the studio. We got the Millionaire Morning Show coming up. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. And then also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. It is a phenomenal product. Make sure you get that. And then get your tickets to come and kick it with me in person. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.